Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but I'm back. I took a much needed break over the holidays to just relax, spend time with family, and now I have gathered up a bunch of goodies to test for you guys. So this is going to be testing 10 new-ish products at Sephora. Some of these products are brand new and some of them have been out for a little while, but they're still located on the new tab on Sephora's app. So I decided to put them to the test today and show you all how they wear, how they apply, talk a little bit about them, and give you my overall first impressions on all these hot new releases. I'm not going to be filming check-ins for this video, but at the end I will tell you all how this makeup wore. I'm trying to use my days off wisely and film as much as I can. We've got a lot to go through. You wouldn't think 10 products would be a lot to talk about, but we've had a couple hiccups. So let's just go ahead and get into it. But first, make sure you all have subscribed if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that so much. Let's go ahead and see how we got this face of makeup today. All right, I went ahead and carved out my brows, and now I'm going to use one of the first products for today's video is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Long Wear Cream Eyeshadow. And I bought two shades. I bought Sandstone and Bisque. I'm going to try Bisque first as my eye primer. Now these are not super new, but they're new to me. I've never tried these. There are 10 different shades available and they are $25 a piece. This is the shade Bisque. And it has just a typical style doe foot applicator. And we're just going to put it on my lids and try and see what happens. Okay, well, it's really dry. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought it would be one of those products that kind of dried down as you spread it. I didn't think it would feel this dry upon application. It's almost feels like you're not even putting any product on your lid. It's quite interesting. I used a MAC paint pot to carve my brows. And if you're familiar with that product, it is kind of a creamy consistency, but then it kind of dries down to where it looks a little bit more matte. This, like I haven't even blended it all the way out yet around my brows. This does not feel like that. It feels much drier upon initial application. I'm going to just show you really quick what this looks like when I just put it on the back of my hand. I don't know. It's just like really moussey and almost feels like nothing is going on. It's weird. So I'm going to take what was on my hand on the brush and just make sure that I am covering all of the veins that are on my eyelid that I usually try to cover with an eye primer. It's just very thick. I was not expecting that. The reason I bought this shade is because I saw a video a couple weeks ago of Manny using this, Manny MUA. He was doing a video where he used this shade, Sandstone, on his nose to cover up all of his pores. I might try that another day, but I'm not going to do it today because I am testing a new foundation. But I will say it was pretty cool, and the whole concept is if you have larger pores through here around your nose, to press this product in and then put your foundation on top, and it acts as a really good smoothing primer. So that's why I purchased that shade as well, but we will try that another day. But I like this, and I don't even feel like I need to set it down with powder. It feels very self-setting. I'm going to let that sit for just a second, and we will do our next product, which is eyeshadow. Our next product today is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Essential Artistry Edit Eyeshadow Palette. This one is in the shade Light. This is what the inside of the Light palette looks like. I just thought that I would get a lot of use out of this color story. I could probably get away with the medium as well, but I was afraid of the medium being a little bit too dark. And in my opinion, I feel the same way about the Light palette, but looking at the medium, I thought the only shades that looked different, like very different, are the lightest shade and the darkest shade. I'll put a picture on screen. The other four shades, they all look very similar and very warm. In this palette, I agree, it's the same These are just a little bit more on the cool tone side. But if you see what I'm talking about, the light shade and the dark shade are very different. But the other 4 shades are all pretty similar. I wish there was a little bit more of a difference because they're going to look very similar on the lid. But with that said, I did want to try this formula out and see how I like it. I have been purchasing a lot of single shadows recently, and this is just a palette that I could pull out and do a very quick look, pop on my single shadow, and be out the door in no time. I did try to purchase this palette during the Sephora sale, but they had sold out. Now today I'm also going to show you some Taupe brushes. I have now all 3 sets of her new Details by Taupe brushes. So I went ahead and grabbed out some of the eye brushes to do a look today. And I'm going to start with the EX5, which is the big blending brush. I'm going to start with this shade. There you can see they are pretty powdery. There's a lot of kick up, but that doesn't bother me. If you didn't know this already, this palette is $44 and they have 3 different shades. You can get light, medium, or deep. I'm wondering if I should have used the light shade first to kind of set right here, but the Makeup by Mario cream eyeshadows don't really feel like they need set. I don't think we'll have an issue. So we're just going to start with this shade in the crease. And then I could always add that light shade later to help blend this out. But I'm going to tell you all, this brush from Details by Taupe, I've really been enjoying it, especially for what I'm doing right now, which is just a very simple matte eyeshadow look to go to work, or just an everyday look where you just want to really throw something in the crease, maybe define a little baby wing out here, and go. I usually always add a shimmer to my lid. I just love shimmer. I don't know if I'll ever be just an all matte person. I don't see that happening anytime soon, let's just say that. And I'm almost 40 years old, so if it hasn't happened by now, when will it? I joke around all the time. I'm like, I'm going to be in my 80s and I'm still going to be rocking shimmer on my lid. I do not care. I like it, and that's all that matters. I used 2 light layers of that shade. Now I'm grabbing just a little bit more, and I'm going to focus it mostly right here just to make sure it is nice and blended. And I like to go up a little bit and give myself a little bit of a lift out here. But this brush, you can use patting motions and just kind of tap it on and blend, and it blends so well. I really do love this brush. I'm going to switch to the ES4. I'm going to grab the second deepest shade, and this brush is really, really good. It's very pointed. Let me show you as I turn it. There's product here on this side, but not on this side. I usually take it and I'm going to just lay that product down right out in my outer V by my lash line, just by doing tapping motions. Then once most of the product is off of the brush, see there's hardly any product left, I'm going to take it and just do a very light blend, but stick mostly out here. I don't want to bring that deep shade too far in. I want to keep it out here. And don't worry about out here too much because we are going to clean up. Just blend and make those edges look as soft as you can. I'm going to go in with one more light layer and do the same technique, but I'm going to keep it really low this time. And we still have one deeper shade. So as you can see, you can build this up and get pretty good depth from this light palette. And what I love is these shades really will bring out the blue in my eyes. The next brush I want to try is the SP7. So this came from her specialty set, and it's just a very teeny tiny brush. And I'm going to use this first with the deepest shade in the palette right here. And I'm going to do the same technique that I just did with that big brush, but I want to be careful not to use too much. So this brush is perfect for this step. It's fluffy, so it's going to give a blended look and not put down too much pigment. But I'm just going to make sure that I have a little depth out here before I start my wing. Now I'm going to use the EX6 brush, which is really unique. You can use as a nose contour brush. You can use it as an eyeliner, like blending brush, if you want to just really make a soft wing. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this brush. I don't necessarily need to do this step today, but I wanted to use as many of her brushes as I could. And I will clean this off and use it again later on for nose contour. But it is really good if you want to make a nice blown out wing. I think for today's look, I'm going to use the Artist Color Pencil in Limitless Brown. This is not a new product, so I'm going to quickly do that, and then I'll come back and show you how I kind of set that eyeliner down with the palette. Now we're going to use the EX7, which is like the teeniest, tiniest little eyeliner brush I think I've ever seen. It's very similar to the BK Beauty. So they're basically the same size, except for the Taupe brush. It's just the bristles are a little bit longer, literally about the same width. The BK Beauty, I don't know, it's hard to tell because it's been used more, so it's a little bit more frayed at the edges, but I don't know. I think this one just maybe feels a little bit smaller. And we're just going to take this, and I usually just kind of set down the eyeliner with this dark brown shade from the palette. And then out here, where I want to have a little bit of a wing, I'll show you a way to make this really easy on yourself. Is now take a wipe, micellar water, whatever you want to use, and just carefully clean up out here. And once you clean it up and get your desired shape, I can take this brush and now really perfect the eyeliner now that I have it cleaned up. I'm going to grab the EX5 blending brush again, and we're going to go into the lightest shade from this palette. Very powdery. And I'm going to grab that and just lightly dust it under the brow. And this is a very pigmented shade, so just be careful not to use too much. That's as far as I want to go with the eyeshadow from Patrick Ta, but I do have one more product that we're going to try out for the eyes. I'm so excited to test this. This is from the brand Comfy. It is the Zari Eyes eyeshadow in the shade Sona Sona. It comes in this little glass jar, and it looks just like a very pretty gold champagne cream eyeshadow. Now, I have swatched this, but I have not tried it yet. These are $30 a piece, so they're pretty pricey for a cream eyeshadow, but it's supposed to be long-lasting, crease-proof, and they have 8 different shades. Like, look how reflective that is. Like, when the light hits it, it is so reflective. Let's swatch it. It's very wet feeling. There, you can see it on the tip of my finger. I'm going to use the palm of my hand because I just did myself tanner, and I don't want to mess up the top of my hand. I don't care to wipe away the palm. Here we have the swatch. It just looks like a very pretty gold with a very reflective finish. Like, it's basically a gold and has silver glitter to it. Nothing like crazy extraordinary here, but I did want to try it because people say it's a wonderful formula. So I can't wait to see if that's true. One thing I'm pretty curious about is if I need to use a glitter glue with this product. It feels like it's just going to lay down and I won't need it, but for the sake of the rest of my makeup, I don't want to have a ton of fallout. I'm going to use a tiny dot of the NYX glitter glue. This glitter glue, I'm going to tap a little bit on the lid. All right, I didn't even use the whole dot. I'm going to take the Details by Tati ES5 brush, and I'm going to, oh wow, even putting the brush in, look at that. I barely pressed. There's not even anything hardly on the brush, but I pressed it in there and it's like really wet. I'm going to start with the brush and see what happens. Just want to kind of tap it on. I don't think I love the brush application. It's just leaving chunks of glitter. Let me try my finger. I've got to be honest, I'm kind of underwhelmed by this. I'm going to take the brush and just try to blend it out a little bit. I thought I was going to love this so much more. It's just not doing it for me. I don't know. Let me take my Fenty Diamond Balm. This is the mini size. And let's see if I can add a little bit of this on top to make it a little bit more impactful. I don't like it. It's making my eyes look very creasy, and it's supposed to be crease proof, and I don't know if it's where it's on top of the Master Mattes, but I do not like this. It's just making my eyelids look super textured. Guys, I don't think I can do this. Like, it looks bad. I'm gonna zoom in so you can really see. It's like making my eyelids look super duper creasy and just textured. I mean, I have creases, don't get me wrong, but I wear eyeshadow all the time and I don't have this problem. And I don't know if it's the Makeup by Mario or that Zari Eyes. I don't know. I was loving it until I put the glitter on, so I don't know. We're gonna have to try that again, but I have to take this off. I cannot go out like that. All right, I'm back. Let me tell you what I have decided to do. In the sake of time, I don't have a lot of time to keep messing with this. Instead of using the Comfy cream eyeshadow, I'm going to switch to the Urban Decay Moondust in the shade Space Cowboy, because I have been using this as like my everyday eyeshadow for a couple weeks now. I'll usually top it with a little bit of my Fenty Diamond Balm, and that's been like a quick, easy, everyday eye look. I used my normal eyeshadow primer potion from Urban Decay. I went ahead and did the matte eye look the same with the Patrick Ta palette, and I'm going to add a little bit of my NYX glitter glue. On this eye, I left it as is with the Master Mattes cream eyeshadow, and we'll see if it is because of the Master Mattes cream eyeshadow that the Zari Eyes wasn't working, because I am so familiar with how this Moondust wears on top of the Urban Decay primer potion and using this NYX glitter glue, so I will know if it acts different on top of the Master Mattes. If that's the case, then I will give the Zari Eyes another chance on top of my normal eye primers, but I don't have time to do Zari Eyes again and then it still be messed up, so we're just going to move on. We'll know here in just a minute once I complete the look. So let me finish this eye look really quick, and what I'll do right now is I'll just kind of speed through it. All right, so my eyes are super mad at me from putting on eyeshadow and wiping it off, but I'm going to leave this be, and then once we add mascara and everything, it should look great. Okay, I've got my eyes to the same exact spot as we had it before. We used the Comfy, and now I'm going to use the Urban Decay Space Cowboy and see if I notice a difference on this side. So far, I am not. So I think the conclusion that I've come to is either the Zari Eyes from Comfy does not work well with the Master Mattes, or it's just not a product for me. So I'll have to test it out when I have a little bit more time and let you guys know in a follow-up or in a comment here on this video. I think next time I try it, I will try it with just the product alone without the NYX glitter primer. I don't know. We'll see. It just kind of bunched up and did not look flattering whatsoever. All right, the next product, I'm so excited. I've had this for quite a while now and I have not tried it out. I wanted to do like a first impressions try on with this, but just know I used my typical primer, which is my Caliray, and we're going to see how this works out. This is the newly reformulated Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It's supposed to be blurring, a matte, full coverage finish. They have 36 different shades and it is $49. I purchased mine in the shade 5C because I'm not using a ton of self-tan these days. I have on a gradual tanner right now. I just felt like for wintertime, this could possibly be a good match. And all of her shades looked a little bit warm to me. They look a little bit yellow. So I thought getting a cool might work out best for me, and I can always bronze up. But I just want to see what this foundation feels like first. I've not even experimented with this. So this is the shade 5C. It's very thick, and even this, to me, has a yellow tone to it. So even the cool looks a little bit yellow, but I feel like this is the most neutral in my shade range that I could find. So I just did like a half a pump, and I warmed it up between my two fingers here. And we're going to take it right here and just see what we think. Look at that. That is not cool. Even on me, that looks warm. And even with my self-tan, it's still going to look a little yellow, but I'm going to try to make it work. I'm trying to use a bunch of my Taupe brushes, so I'm going to use the EX2, which is just like a buffing foundation brush, to blend out. And then I'll press it in with a sponge. I'm going to take what's left on this finger and we'll just do this side. But again, I'm telling you guys, it's very thick, so warming it up was a good idea. I didn't do that on purpose. I just wanted to feel it. Yeah, it's drying down quick. And this brush might be a little too soft, has too much give to it. I probably should have mixed in a little bit of my white pigments to make this look a little more neutral, but I didn't want to mess with the formula. I wanted to give this foundation a chance without tweaking anything. And I thought 5C was my best option. And I think once it blends out, it'll match my self-tan pretty well. It just looks very yellow against the redness on my face right now. Okay, it's very thick. I'm hoping that by pressing it in with the sponge will help. And it looks like it's going to. I've seen mixed reviews on this, but I would say more so than good, I've seen kind of negative reviews. A lot of people were pretty bummed that they reformulated it. But for me, this is just a brand new product. I've never tried the original because I heard that it was too thick and too cakey. But this does feel thick as far as the formula, but on my skin, once I press it in, I don't think it feels thick. It doesn't feel heavy. Not to me, anyway. And that's just with application. So that one, like half a pump did this section of my face. I want to see what a full pump looks like, so I'm just going to pump it out in my hand. That is a full pump, and as you can see, it's running down. It's a little bit on the thick side. I think next time I wear it, I might add just a tiny bit of the white to neutralize it. But like I said, I don't think it's going to look bad once everything is on. But yeah, one pump gives you a lot. On this side, I just want to use the sponge and see if I notice a difference. This sponge is my Glam by Hoda that I got off of Michaela's recommendation, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. It's my favorite sponge I think I've ever used. It's just a typical beauty blender style, but it feels so different than any sponge that I've personally used. I still love the Stands Out sponge for what it is because it's a different material. And I still love it. What I'll do is I'm going to take my little MPH brush from Mary Phillips, and I like to use the small side to put the foundation around my brows where I did my brows first. So I kind of just like further carve them out in a way. and try not to use too much, but I want to get it around it without touching my brows. So that's just an easy way I have found to do it. And I will be adding concealer and stuff, so I'm not too worried about like right through here right now. I'm just going to take the sponge, tap it in. I'll finish blending and I'll be right back. I have it all blended in, and now I'm using my EX6 from Details by Tati to blend out some nose contour. And I did not have a new, well, I do have new contours, but for this video, I was trying to just keep it to 10 products. So I'm not going to use a new contour today. I'm just using my Morphe Shapelifter in the shade Refined and blending that out. This is a very nice nose contour brush. Now I'm taking my sponge and just pressing this in. I use a little bit under my lip as well. This is the SP3, and this is the sculpting brush from Details by Tati. And since I don't have a new contour, I'm just going to use this around the perimeter of my forehead and above my cheekbones a little bit, just to give a little bit more shape. I really do like this brush for contour. It just kind of presses it in and it melts right into the skin. This Morphe contour stick, the Shapelifter, it's really good. It's not new. I just wanted to show you guys really quick this brush from Details by Tati. All right. The next new product today is from Dior Forever Skin Bronzing Balm Stick, and I have it in the shade 03 Light Medium. There are 6 different shades, and they are $52, very expensive, but I love Dior products. I love their stick foundation. It's like one of my favorite products. So I was excited to try this out. I've never tried their contour stick, and I really think I should. As of right now, I do not need it, so I'm not going to buy it, but I wanted to try this. This is supposed to give a natural skin-like finish, and I will show you guys on the palm of my hand what the shade looks like and the formula. So as you can see, it does have a little bit of that emollient, balmy consistency. I agree with that. A tiny scent, but nowhere near what the Dior foundation stick has. But this is blended into my palm a little bit, and it has a little radiance, it looks like. I'm going to take it directly on the SP2 brush. It's like an angled contour bronze blush brush, and I really like it. I'm just taking the product, I'm just coating that brush really well. So we're going to take it and we're going to bronze up right here. That is nice. Ooh, I'm really liking that. Feels nice. I don't want to put it directly on my skin because I'm afraid I don't want to mess anything up. This is usually how I blend in my cream products. I kind of want to apply it just so you all can see how it works. So I will try it, but I'm going to do it on my forehead here. It just glides beautifully. Pull my hair back. I really like it. I think the color will be better for me when I'm not wearing such a yellow foundation. If my foundation is more neutral, this would definitely pop a little bit more. But I really like this shade. I'm glad that this is what I chose. It works well for me. The foundation, I'm going to keep pressing it in, but I'm not sold on it just yet. We'll see how it powders down, but it's not as matte as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like super duper matte, but it's not. It's kind of enhancing my texture a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. So far, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm going to do the same thing, just load my brush and apply it to this side. I just got a notification on my phone from Sephora about something coming out from Rare Beauty. I wonder if that's her bronzers. It said 24-hour access for app only. I'll have to look and let you know. I think this is a beautiful product. I really do. I'm going to add just a little bit more just to see if it's buildable. I really, really like that. All right. The next new product is from Prada Beauty. It is called Prada Beauty Micro Correcting Blurring Concealer with Peptides. Mine's in the shade LN3 and it's $48. There are 21 different shades. I cannot wait to try this out. It looks so pretty. Ooh. And I dropped it. She's okay. Now, the packaging, I can already tell you, is one of those like metal tops, so it's going to get your fingerprints all over it, but it is very pretty. There you can see it has the Prada logo. It's a nice heavy weighted packaging. It has Prada even on the wand, and it has a really cool triangle tip. So we're going to try this out today. I have the Details by Taupe EX4 concealer brush. This is the shade LN3, and it feels very thin. Very, very thin. Very serum-like. I'm going to start on one side. I like the tip of it. It's very nice. And I'll do a little on the nose. Again, this is from Details by Taupe, the EX4 concealer brush. Even though it's very thin, I feel like it's blending but keeping the coverage. You know how sometimes a serum formula can kind of feel like it's just shearing out when you blend it? I don't feel that way with this. I feel like it's giving pretty decent coverage with just that little amount. It feels nice. I'm going to take this sponge. It's also from Glam by Hoda. And I'm going to just tap it in. We're going to let that be. I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. But we're going to let it dry a little bit and see what we think. It feels very tacky to the touch. So we'll see if it dries down a little bit. And I would say it's given like a medium coverage as of right now. I would say it has a little bit of a radiant natural finish, but not overly radiant. All right, this side I want to blend out with just the sponge and see if I notice a difference. I'm not noticing much of a difference between the sides blending wise. All right, let's go in with a little bit more and see how it builds. I think the shade is perfect. It's not giving me a ton of brightness or anything, but it's concealing pretty well. We're going to give this powder a run for its money because it's making my under eyes look a little worse right now for some reason. I don't know. Typically when I add concealer, I just feel like it kind of brings everything together, but we'll see. I'm going to use the Details by Taupe EX3 brush for this. The blush today is the NARS Multiple Soft Blur Blush Stick in the shade Behave. I have also the shade Dazed. This one is the newest one that I have, and there are 12 shades. This is a $40 blush stick, so it's pretty pricey, but I absolutely love the formula of this. I fell in love with the shade Dazed. So let's see what Behave gives us. This is the shade Behave, and I'll show you the shade Dazed right beside. Dazed is underneath, and it is much more nude, just kind of like a beigey nude color. And I love mixing the shade Dazed in with any blush. It just helps like calm it down. I love it so much. But we're going to go in with Behave today. I'm just going to try to pick up on my hand here a little bit of this swatch. This brush is very close, in my opinion, to the Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty foundation brush, the N17. This is a very similar style. So it's one of those really good multi-purpose brushes. But let's add a little bit of blush before I powder my under eyes. So this gives my concealer a little time to sit down, and then I'll blend one more time with a sponge before setting. That's usually how I do my concealer. So these are very sheer as far as pigment. They're not super pigmented, but they just kind of blur the skin. And I just love them. I really do. This is one of my favorite purchases, I think, in a long time. And I'm not a big NARS person. Like, I don't use a ton of NARS products. I do love their pot concealer, but I don't use it a ton. Happened to see this on there and thought I wanted to give it a go, and I'm so glad I did. But as you can see, it is buildable, and this brush is blending it so well. For powder today, I have the new Fenty Beauty reformulated powder. This is the Set It Down Superfine Blurring Setting Powder in the shade Strawberry Milk, and there are 8 different shades. It's $37, and it is just a light baby pink color. Never tried this before. It's not even opened. So the packaging is a little bit different. Used to, it had like a little thing you had to take out to get to the powder. This has a sifter that you just twist it to unlock and lock. And I just wanted to show you how much is in the cap. Not a lot. And I'm going to press in my concealer one more time with my little Glam by Huda sponge. I've got my powder puff ready to go. Oh, this one had more powder on it. Oh, Lord. Hang on, I'm going to take some of the excess over here. The shade's definitely brightening, which is good. I'm taking whatever's left right through my brows there. And whatever's left in the cap, we'll just go ahead and use it to set the rest of my face. And you know, I usually don't do this. I usually use 2 different powders, but I want to try it out just for a little bit of brightness, and then I'll use my normal powder everywhere else, just so we can see if there's a difference. Through no fault of the powder, it was already looking dry. I like that you can close the sifter. I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with my Nikki Joy powder. It's my favorite, and I will be right back. All right, the rest of my face is set. We're going to move right along. I have the Givenchy Prism Libre Bronzing Powder in the shade 02 Popeline Bronze. This is a $60 bronzer. There are 4 different shades to choose from. I have been using this product and I love it, but I wanted to include it in today's video because it's still one of the newer products at Sephora. And I'm going to use the Details by Tati EX1 brush. And I just take this bronzer and I literally blend all the shades together. I just take the brush and just kind of go like this and turn the brush because it's a pretty decent sized brush, and make sure I'm getting all the shades all over this brush, okay? We're going to take it and we're going to tap around my cheekbones, bronze that up. Just do a tapping motion, that way you don't disturb the cream products underneath. I will say, I feel like this bronzer is a little bit hard pressed. It takes quite a bit of force to get a decent size amount on the brush. You have to press pretty hard. But on my forehead, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth very gently with this brush. And then I want to also use a different brush to show you. The ES1, it's just like this large, fluffy powder brush. But I want to see if this will pick up the bronzer and give me like a very diffused look. So we're going to see if it'll do what I'm hoping it will. Doing the same thing, just making sure I'm loading it up on this brush. And it looks like it's there. We'll see. This bronzer definitely has a fragrance to it, but it's nice. I like it. Something I always like to mention, because some people really do not like fragrance in their cosmetics. It does not really bother me unless it smells bad, but this smells pretty good. I'm taking whatever's left on my neck, my ears, just kind of bronzing up the face. I've been really enjoying that bronzer, so I just wanted to add that in today's video. And I love these brushes. They are so good. The quality is fantastic. The next product is actually a lip product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Cheat. If I'm going for a very nude look, this is just a go-to because it goes with just about anything, in my opinion. Another new product, it's from Rare Beauty. This is called the Fine Comfort Lip Butter Balm and Overnight Mask in the shade Loved. There are 4 shades, and this is $18. This is just, in my opinion, like a twist-up chapstick, and it's a very odd shape. So it's kind of like, you have to be careful when you're putting it on. But for me, it doesn't have a ton of pigment. It does twist back down, which is good. But for me, this is just something you're going to keep in your pocket to give a little bit of color and a little bit of hydration, but that's about it. The formula feels just like a chapstick. Honestly, that's what it feels like to me. I'm going to add a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Big Lip Plumpgasm and Iconic Nude just to give it a little bit more. And that is going to be everything. I'm going to go finish my look and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is the completed look with all the new products. My hair is looking a little bit slept in, but I got a new haircut and I really love it. I'm really liking how everything turned out. These are just my first impressions of a lot of these products. I'm just going to quickly run through and let you know what I think. The product concealer, we'll have to see how it wears, but I'm not in love with it. The Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Cream Eyeshadows. This eye did perfectly fine with my normal products on top. So I feel like the Kulfi Zari eyes might not be a formula for me, but I'm going to continue testing it and I'll let you know in a comment down below after I've tried it a few times. If you're curious about it and you want to see my opinions, just keep an eye out for that. I'll pin a comment. And then the Dior Forever Skin Bronzing Balm Stick. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. The Patrick Ta eyeshadows, the light palette is beautiful. I'm loving that. The Rare Beauty Lip Butter Balm. Again, it's just kind of like an okay product. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. The Givenchy Bronzing Powder, I really do enjoy it. Like I said, I feel like it's a little hard pressed. It's a little hard to get the product onto your brush, but once you build it up, it is beautiful. The Fenty Beauty Set It Down Super Fine Blurring Setting Powder, I will have to continue with that as well. It set well, it brightened, but on top of a concealer that I'm already kind of iffy about, I can't really give you much as far as that goes. So we'll try it again. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Blurring Matte Full Coverage Foundation in the shade 5C. So far, I like it, but it's nowhere near as matte as I was anticipating. I feel like it does accentuate my texture just a little bit, but all in all, I think my complexion looks pretty decent. And the NARS Multiple Soft Blur Blush Sticks, I love them so much. If I had to give you a recommendation out of this list today, that would probably be my number one. It is beautiful. But I'm also really enjoying this Dior stick. I just hate to suggest such high-end products, but with that said, guys, my next video I'm going to film with a lot of drugstore products. I cannot wait to test those products out with you guys. I will see you all very, very soon What I'll do is I'll probably just put on screen how this makeup wore, or take a couple pictures and pop it on the screen right now for you all to see. I need to end this video now, that way I can film one more video today. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.